I followed George through the set of double doors leading to the garden. Ray and Anna stand near a row of rose bushes, the entire area lit by the glow of the blood moon. My white dress flutters in the light breeze while we wait for Saul to bring the prisoner from the kennels. His hulking shadow passes over the fountain, and I know the moment draws closer. We will have a trial in Vegas. Saul leads the man hooded and shackled into the clearing and binds him with rope to a thick wooden pole. I approach him as George and Anna and Ray sit on the stone steps of the fountain. Beside the pole is a table, and on it my special knife rests next to a stack of documents. Taking the knife in my hand, I remove the hood from the prisoner. A slim, blond man wearing glasses blinks at me, duct tape covering his mouth. I doubt he understands the situation, but I remain silent, studying him for a span of time stretching into minutes. Why not make him sweat before I tell him the bad news? Let his imagination conjure the worst of his fears. I yank the duct tape off in a swift motion and smile when the man yelps with pain. "Do you know why you're on trial tonight?" I ask. His eyes move from me to the watchers by the fountain and back again. "The man that broke into my apartment told me it was because I'm part of Gamergate." "You harass and stalk feminist women online, women like me! Tonight you will answer for your crimes." Crimes? You're such a victim that you consider someone disagreeing with you on the internet a crime? Fucking feminists. I laugh and grab a paper from the table. When I saw your tweets online, I knew there was more to it than simple harassment. Saul hacked your computer and ran a background check on you. You have something of a record, don't you, Paul? "No," he begins to stammer, despite only having said one word, but I interrupt. "Save it. You pleaded guilty to a sexual assault freshman year of college. Rich Papa saw to it that you didn't catch a more serious charge, but you raped that girl. Don't bother denials. Saul found proof on your hard drive. You were stupid enough to videotape the party. Spoiled rich boy indeed, tisk tisk." The man opens his mouth to respond, but I do not let him speak and place the duct tape over his lips once again, even though it would have lost its stickiness and be covered in facial hairs and oils. "I heard enough of your hate online. I've heard more than enough from all you Gamergates fucks. When I see men stalk and harass women online, I know that most of the time it's not just online. Looking into a few hundred of the screen names associated with Gamergate, many have been convicted of sexual assault, harassment, and stalking women. You are no lone wolf exception. It's very common." George approaches me, hands behind his back, waiting for my orders. I nod to him, and he removes a mobile phone from a suit pocket and taps a button to start the music playlist. One of my favourite songs plays, Total Eclipse of the Heart. "I'll tell you this, Paul. Gamergate will soon be over, but for you it will be tonight," I say, placing the knife against his throat. I begin singing with the song, watching his eyes pleading with me for mercy. Every now and then I fall apart and kill people. Dragging the blade deep into his neck, I watch the life ebb from his eyes while streams of blood cover my white dress. Looking up at the blood-red moon, I smile. "Bring me the next one, Saul." "The next one?" Saul's voice sounds strange, quiet, almost strangled. I turn, noticing as I do that the knife is strangely clean. George is unsettled and moves away towards the door. Anna's already left, but why? Paul sits in the chair, unharmed. There's a flicker around his throat, like the way they blur a criminal's face on the television. What do they call it? Pixelization? "I just cut your throat. You should be dead." I stalk back to him, angry, confused. "Gamers have many lives," he says, smugly. He opens his mouth to say something else, and I stab him again, punching my blade between his ribs into his heart and watching the life leave his eyes. "Now, Saul, the next—" I'm interrupted. The air breaks into squares and reforms. Paul sits there again, looking at me smugly. "Many lives," he repeats. I stab him again, this time through the eye. Again he returns. I cut his wrists. Saul shoots him. Damn the sound, I want this man dead. None of it works. I'm afraid. I lash out and I stab him over and over again until the meat that was once a man slumps and almost pours out of the chair. It doesn't take. "There's also cheat codes," Paul says offhandedly. "Why won't you die?" I scream. I almost stab him again, but what would be the point? Perhaps I was never alive to start with. Perhaps I had the mushroom starter. Perhaps I'm a scarecrow, a straw man, a conjuring of your own delusion. A sensitive spot. I drive the dagger up under his chin, between his jaw, up through his soft palate and into his brain. This time I leave it there, but when the squares engulf him, the blade appears back in my hand. I never raped anyone, though that sort of accusation is something people like you like to throw around. I never stalked anyone or harassed anyone. I disagreed with some people, loudly, and you seem to regard that as some kind of cardinal sin. I think you're looking for an excuse to play out some murder fantasies, but maybe it's just your puppeteer. I raise the blade, but I can't make it strike this time. It would be pointless, unsatisfying, horrifying. You can't kill something that never existed. You can't kill the truth, especially if you're a fiction yourself. And you, Ella, how does he know my name, are just a bad story, a murderous wank fantasy, a trope. You're the traumatized Avenger. You're just another Batman with tits, like Huntress, Batgirl and all the rest. You're a Rule 63 of Patrick Bateman. Even the cover of your book betrays your influences. Book? There's a flash of squares, and now there's two of him, neither of them in the chair, neither tied. You created a cartoon villain, a bad man, of the type Amazon reviews say you like to kill, except we're not bad men. Come to that, can you imagine the screams of protest if we wrote murderous revenge porn about those arrayed against us? A flash. There's four of them now. I step back. Many of us aren't men at all. We're gay, straight, bi, trans, we're men, women, and all points in between. We're people who want to defend art and free expression. We're people who want to retain a free internet. A flash. Then 16, then 32. Saul disappears, swallowed up in the crowd. They're all smiling at me as they close in. So many faces, so many different faces, and they're laughing at me. Laughing at me, Ella, the murderess, the Avenger. They're not scared of me, they're not taking me seriously. The blade falls from my hand and clatters to the ground. What do you want? We just wanted to play video games. Now we have to save the world. Paul emerges from this new crowd and crouches at my feet, picking up the knife. "Milady," he says, and tips a fedora I'm sure he wasn't wearing a second ago. He leans in closer still. I recoil against the wall, my skin crawling. This is horrifying, unreal, unnatural. The sad part of this is that if the people we oppose had their way, you wouldn't exist at all, Ella. A sexualized woman, written by a man, bloody violence, they'd 4-5-1 your ass in a second. We deal in truth, Ella. The truth is your badly written revenge porn, written by a male submissive hack who likely pays for his Amazon reviews. If you think that's incorrect, consider I've not bothered to research you very much. Before you open your mouth again, maybe put us to shame by bothering to research us. Take that message to your puppet master. And everything dissolves into little squares. 404. File not found.